All right, we back in there at the Pastor and the Professor. We're going to jump right in. If you've been following Ustream, you've probably been hearing a little bit about what we were talking about pertaining to, I guess, rappers versus hip-hop artists. I had a couple questions to ask these guys, but first I'm going to jump in to the most pertinent question I think I have to ask. At the front of the show, I mentioned I thought that maybe hip-hop artists might have seen that spoken word was more of an easier out because they didn't have to ride a beat, like Phatmak was mentioning that he couldn't really ride a beat at first. Then just, you know, I've even had a turnaround even that much, thinking that, you know, with the silence and no beat or no track, that then it becomes more pertinent, those words become more pertinent. I want to start it off, anybody can jump in, and we ain't got to go down the line no more, we're not in class, but we're going to go the spoken word artist versus the nigger rapper. I'm talking about the nigger ER rapper that has a lot of foolishness, and like you were saying in the break, HARDFACE, there's a lot of slang or colloquialism over a beat. And then Phatmak mentioned that when they turn the beat off, then you have to actually listen to their words. So let's talk about the rapper versus the spoken word artist as far as, let's even go with the conscious rappers. Do you guys think you all's words or y'all's content or the text that you guys do with the spoken word, what have you, is that more instrumental in trying to uplift our race or uplift our people or have a positive message opposed to these rappers, considering they all have commodified, some of them have sold out, and even some of them that are supposed to be conscious are selling out to an extent because you guys don't have producers. You know what I'm saying? It's you. Nobody's telling you what you can, what Lenny or Phatmak or F-Dub can or cannot write, so it's you. It's pure black authenticity. And I'm huge on black art. So let's jump in about, let's go the rapper versus the spoken word artist.
And that's the major difference right there. The rapper is processed. Mm-hmm. They telling, the producer telling, hey, you rap the fuck about this. Mm-hmm. You rap about the big ass rims. You rap about all the shit that don't mean shit. Don't rap about nothing of substance. And we gonna sell it and make it sound.
And if they do throw some sense in there, they're going to edit it out. Let's take that.
Yeah, we're going to pull this motherfucking contract. You're going to get washed up. Mm-hmm. And see, and what a poet is, he's the person that exposes it.
Mm-hmm. Or supposedly.
Yeah, well, one that's who's doing it out of love. A true poet, a true spoken word artist. And I'm not talking about no R91 who's doing it for the art, doing it for the love. It's a difference. You're doing it from the heart. When you do shit from the heart,
it reaches the heart, is what they say.
Like, to be honest, just to be completely honest, I don't know if I'm writing this for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I think everything I'm writing is for myself. It's something I don't understand or something I feel like I want to talk about, but if people might not feel the same way I feel, or maybe people do. Maybe I've had to talk with HARDFACE or F-Dub or Lenny or, you know what I'm saying, Pastor Earl, and I wanted to share that with somebody else, but it wasn't nobody to talk to. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nobody but me and this ink pen. I might be mad most of the time. I'm writing out of anger.
Because you say you learned to write,
right? And that's how it works for me. Every now and again, I would actually try to write something that is completely based on community growth, but it always is sponsored. I think as a creator, is wherever your stuff come from, this is where it come from. I even think the rappers, I don't really think, and to disagree with y'all, I don't even think that the producers are saying, I need you to rap about this. Yeah. It's the fact that the consumer is buying it.
I think I'm with you.
But this goes into artist responsibility, and that's interesting that you say that anybody that's using words, y'all got an audience, whether period. So do you feel like there's some type of responsibility? You say a lot of things.
Yeah, they're responsible.
No, I'm talking about you as a spoken word artist. You said some of the shit that you just feel, but
I think that as an artist, you have responsibility, and your responsibility is your immediate
sphere of influence.
People. Yeah. And that's exactly what they focus on. I bet if you look at a lot of these rappers, let's take Yo Gotti. Mm-hmm. Yo Gotti is on Cocaine Music number 8 now.
Something like that.
This Christmas, he gave away $10,000 to the community, right? Just on the radio, you call up to the radio, tell me what you want for Christmas, you about to get that. But that's not on no Cocaine Music. That's not on nail one is he saying it.
Does the message, what I'm talking, that's his activity, that's great.
Right.
Does the message have responsibility? Because I believe you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, period. I'm a writer, that's what I believe. Right. But you're saying, you still have an audience, like, do you feel like, a lot of times I feel a lot of spoken word is real corny and contrived because a lot of people are trying to be a black revolutionary in their life. I've heard all three of you guys And particularly, I'm very fond of your satirical pieces.
Man,
because it's funny and it's intelligent and funny because we don't always have to be Black Power Fist, dreads and dashikis and that type of content, the rhetorical content, to be black activists. And I think a lot of this shit is very corny and contrived. A lot of shit that I see because, you know, it was a huge spur of the spoken word mid-90s. I remember when I first got to the University of Memphis in 96. It was really huge. Just, you know, Love Jones really just put it really on the map, particularly down south. But
Say,
a lot of people are
Can I be your slave?
corny with this shit and contrived. So I'm trying to figure out, do you think there's pressure, just like it's pressure for somebody might not say, I want you to write about the trap, but the trap is selling, so they're gonna try to do it. So aren't there artists that are influenced by what the crowd would want to hear? Because when I've come out, I see a lot of those explicitly Afrocentric people.
Well, when I do a workshop or when I'm talking to anyone, two things that really, the very first question I ask the student is, do I believe you? Can I believe you?
Are you persuadable?
Are you? And the easiest way, in my opinion, to be believable is to tell the truth. And like when you first asked the question about positivity, I don't think we are as much about positivity, ironically, as we are about the truth. You know what I mean? And as men, I understand man as being administrator of information. So by being a spoken word artist and a male, like we are engaging or being an example for an activity that should be taking place in different microcosms all the time. It's just men standing up telling the truth. Like that should be happening in the McDonald's. It should be happening like
Anywhere, okay.
Anywhere. And like I think the most inspiring thing about what we do, even like HARDFACE was saying, as an observer, me myself, is, or what's inspiring about y'all in your given profession is that, whoa, this is a motherfucker telling me the truth. He not trying to sugarcoat nothing. He not trying to beat around. He's clearly not trying to hide anything from me. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. So there's a couple things that makes me think about. Number one, I think part of the way we connect, right, is at that understanding of there's some level of commitment to truth. But back to G's point, let's be honest. So in the preaching profession, there is crazy pressure for me to sound like the quintessential prototypical preacher that don't none of y'all fuck with. So I got to deal with that, right? So I got to make a cognitive decision.
Know your audience, target audience.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's just like something that we retweeted the other day that I shared with you when we was talking yesterday. So somebody put something out on Facebook and I retweeted it or shared it, and it said, as both of us are also, you know, so not only am I pastor, but I'm also professor. We both in academia. And they say if you in a system of oppression and you're an educator, you are either a revolutionary or an oppressor. There is no in between. So are we trying to suggest that you have such a level of freedom that you don't even feel the pressure to have to conform?
And maybe not y'all, but I want to know, do y'all know, are there some, I'm going to go ahead and be real about it. Are there any artists in Memphis particular, when you all go on tours or when you go to slams, are there artists that you feel like that are, their whole content is contrived? Yeah. That they're becoming this particular type of spoken word artist to draw that crowd? Because like I said, some people are show some verisimilitude and realism. So y'all know some niggas out here that y'all like bullshit. He's trying too hard to do this. That's what I
think it's some awesome artists that I think are fantastic in their performance, but don't believe nothing they say. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally just doing it because that's what's gonna make them hot. They know that the crowd gonna like it. Well, they know that that's even conscious. Even being conscious is a bandwagon. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that I admit I became victim to when I first came on the scene.
But that's some positive peer pressure, though.
No. Anytime you have to do something that is not you, it's negative.
Yes. But it's all consciousness because once again, I got a course coming out. It's gonna be presented at Rhodes. Gonna come out at Lemoyne in the fall. Hip hop is a literary narrative. And just like we talk about some of these trap rappers, you know, on the surface they look very negative as far as the image of Black America. But that could be their truth, right? And that could be the truth that they're reportorial. Most rappers, anybody that's using rhetoric, whether you're a writer, spoken word artist, rapper, singer, if you're writing your shit, it's reportorial. You're reporting what's going on in your immediate culture environment. So we can't necessarily say that, in essence, if somebody's pressuring me to be conscious and I want to tell the truth and my truth might be dark, dirty, gloomy, sullen, and full of despair, you can't necessarily say that that's positive pressure. Like if you're not there's no authenticity there, is there? If somebody's producing you, whether it's a fans are telling you, I would like to hear Lenny talk about this more so than this. Then it lacks authenticity, and then I think that's negative almost. There's no autonomy for the artist.
It look like, come on, what you think?
No, what about that? No.
Please say something.
Yeah.
What you said about the authenticity? Well, when I used to read a lot of books, and I used to take a class, an etymology and thinking class. It was a critical thinking class. And when I took this class, what I thought was the truth, black power, go back to Africa, all that was bullshit. Even race, us as black, white.
Race is a social
I found out
construct,
everything was bullshit. It's like, as I started to learn, I found out that 95% of everything I was taught was bullshit. So I started to research, do all my own research. I started putting that in poems. I started to realize people were like, they'll be with me until I started telling the truth. Like, nigga, yeah, fuck these niggas. And like, I started talking about niggas going to church, don't research, and they started like, fuck that nigga. I saw the faces started to change.
Yeah.
I stopped getting invited to poetry shit. I was like, don't invite HARDFACE. No, he gonna scare everybody off. And I started to notice this, and it's like, damn, it's just like the rappers. You gotta give people what they want, and then they're like, yeah, come on, we like him. But you start saying some shit, telling folks shit they don't want to hear. It hurts your money. I still write it. I just don't put it out. I'm gonna put it out once I get my money. But for far as making money, you really can't market it because it's like not marketable. Telling the truth is really not marketable.
That's a big strain in the artist community.
No, go ahead.
Right now, I mean, probably always has been is trying to make the art profitable. When I think that they are, opposites. They're
dichotomous.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Economics and truth and art don't go together. Like
in capitalistic consumer culture, for sure.
Capitalism is a farce to begin with. It's an untrue thing that you have to fake to get in and fake to sustain and make up to continue. Art is allegedly supposed to be real and stationary and solid and concrete. So like we bump heads all the time in this situation where I believe artists or able humans in America should earn money in ways that they're already available to earn money. Let's cut hair. Let's load trucks. These ways are
bivocational.
Yeah, we already know ways to make money and use these monies to support our art, because the moment our art's supported by the community, so to speak, it's being dictated. Now we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm telling you, you don't find real talk like this everywhere. So I know y'all want to stay tuned and check out the other couple of parts, but we got to take another break. And hopefully at the end, you got to stick around to the end, because we're going to ask these brothers to display some of this gift and skill.
We're going to the bank to the debit machine and get some money.
Yeah,
y'all let us hold something, but we're going on a break.
How much we getting paid?